Guys, welcome to our first show of We Love Pets. It's a new project we're trying here at Pet World Insider. We have a lot of people that come in through the studio, and we don't get to have as much fun with them afterwards. So this is our way of kind of getting a little bit more of why they're here in the pet industry. I've got Rob. You all know Rob, but you also know Sandy from some of the projects we do. Sandy, thanks for being here with us.
Thank you for inviting me. It's always fun to chat with you guys.
It's great having people in the studio, and we really love when you guys can come and really have some fun with us. And this is one of our ways we're going to have some fun. So Sandy, the first we want to start off so people out there know kind of what is your pet history? Like, what got you into the pet industry?
Well, I think I've been passionate about pets ever since I can remember. I mean, my parents always had animals around. I grew up with animals. They taught me to love and respect them, and I think that's where it starts. And now my role in the industry, the way I see it, is literally anything that enhances the human-animal bond, whether it's trends, travel trends, all the functional stuff we talk about on Pet Product TV that improves one's pet's health and well-being. That's what I'm all about.
Well, and you just threw it very easily to the next thing we want to talk about is we just got done filming Pet Product TV, our
Right.
next season of it. We've got some really cool stuff. There's a new studio, a new build out. This is your first time here, and I know, Rob, this is your first time getting in on the Pet Product TV for this season also. So it's kind of like, what's your guys' thoughts on the new direction this is all going?
Ladies first.
Well, first of all, I'm really impressed with the studio. I mean, it's professional with a capital P, and it's fun. It's well organized, well set up, and it's a great place to come to work.
It's a lot of fun. You know, I will say I've been here with the build out and all that. The studio, it was a work in progress. It still is. It really, I mean, and much to your credit, because you do a majority of the work. And, you know, I know we all come together to work on it, but the evolution of it. And then, you know, I come and I see Pet Product TV, and we've been working on it for the, past few weeks here. And it really, I love the look of it. It's more open to me. That's, I think, the big thing. Going back to our Christmas episodes,
Yes.
that's what I really liked. Was it was open, and it just seemed more like when I'm at the house with
The
friends.
Christmas
and
episodes with your lovely sweaters. That's
Ah,
what you
that's
miss.
right. Get those sweaters coming. We're doing that again this year.
It's a really
So,
cool set. It really is.
yeah,
And I think
it's
we're
a
going
lot
to have
of
a lot
fun.
of fun on it.
Yeah, I think one of the cool things that we kind of got to play around with on this set is from Store Wall, they sent some products for us, and that's part of our set now. It's really going to allow for a lot of other products to really
Yes.
sit there and display well, but it's a cool thing. We had to make the set bigger because, hey, we're in a bigger studio. Why not,
Exactly,
right?
exactly. And you need to display the products, because every time we do an episode, it's about new products, so they've got to be out there. So this is really cool.
Yeah. Well, I also like too, because I saw some of the folks that had been on previous episodes.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of fun, and I think that's one thing that when I'm talking to folks, they'll ask me, so how are the products ending up on there? Certainly there are paid opportunities, but many of the products are products that we love, and I don't think everybody gets that. But where we
Yes.
go, yeah, I actually use this, or I use that, and
Right.
we're talking with them, and then they'll say, hey, how do I get on there?
Right.
So it is good to see that. It brings back a lot of good memories. But
And the advantage
know.
of the wall too is that past products we can put up there, so that they remain in everybody's consciousness. Put it that way.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that we really wanted to fill the set up, and it made it very easy to do. So that's really a lot of fun stuff. But going into products, and we know what season this is for us. Super Zoo
Super
is
Zoo.
right around the corner.
Wow.
We are, I think, when we're filming this, we're about a week away from Super Zoo.
Yes.
So definitely, if you guys want to see the show's going to be up already. It's already posted. Go to the YouTube channel, Pet World Insider, and you can watch the first episode of this season of Pet Product TV. But Super Zoo, let's get into that. We all have a little bit of a different experience with Super Zoo. Myself is more behind the scenes. Rob's kind of got a mix of behind the scenes and kind of being the booth face.
Right.
And Sandy, you've got a completely
Oh,
different mix to
absolutely.
Super Zoo. And
Yes.
kind of just tell me a little bit about your
Well,
experience with
First
Super
of all,
Zoo.
it's such a great name because it is a zoo. It really is a zoo. It's busy. It's fun because a lot of people are, launch new stuff at this show. My experience, I'm always on the floor. That's where you'll find me. You'll find me on the floor. I will be at the Motorola booth for a day and a half on this particular show, talking about all their latest pet gadgets, the collar with a built-in camera, the video monitor, which I love because I can watch my cats, what they're doing in California while I'm in Vegas.
That's
and
cool.
then, of course, I'm walking the floor and I'm seeing what is new out there. And, of course, I'm never disappointed. It's amazing where all this innovative stuff comes from, but there's always something new and exciting.
So this is going to be my 4th time at Super Zoo.
Right.
Rob, this is your 7th
7,000.
And
It feels that way.
Sandy,
Yeah.
this is how many?
I can't tell you. I've been going ever since it's been in Vegas, and before that it was here in
Long Beach.
Anaheim. Was
Yeah.
it Long Beach?
I think
can't
it was
remember
Long
where
Beach.
but
I
it
don't
was-
know.
Well,
It was
in
somewhere close.
It was
California.
Southern California.
It was in California.
Yeah.
And before they went to Vegas, which I think is a great move because
It is. It's a lot
afterwards
of
you
fun.
could really party, right?
Definitely there is a lot. I know I think it's Hart playing this year for the big concert for Super Zoo, so definitely a pretty cool
Were you
thing.
even alive when Hart was out and
No,
popular?
but I do like the music, so I totally am able to have an
I
opinion
am so
there.
glad we have that. We're just gonna
tickets?
loop
I
that.
don't
He
think
I
likes
haven't
Hart.
tickets
Oh, you
yet
also-
either. We'll
okay.
probably do it the day of when we get there. But
have to,
Group
the,
booking.
the first time I went to Super Zoo, it was definitely an eye opener. Rob's been a couple times before I have and kind of shared some of the stuff going, but going into it, it's bigger than I expected,
Yes.
and it's overwhelming. I
It
know
is
Rob
overwhelming.
has the same. When we have to walk through it, it's like, oh man, and then I have to walk it through with cameras, but a little bit of what your first impressions were.
Well,
Super
I'll
Zoo.
never forget the first time I went. I couldn't believe there were so many similar products out there. Take collars and leashes, for example.
Yeah.
There are
hundreds of them.
dozens of different booths
Yeah.
with collars and leashes, and yet they're all different, and they all serve a need in the pet industry. So they all make a living, otherwise they wouldn't be there.
Yeah, yeah.
But so it's all that basic stuff that one needs for your pets and on an ongoing basis. The bowls, the beds, the collars, the leashes. Then there's all that new gadgetry, and pet technology is the big buzz that I think started about a year ago, and I can't wait to get to Super Zoo to see what is going to be on that show.
Definitely being
year.
a tech nerd, the technology, I love seeing that stuff. I love seeing cameras in new places. It's
Yeah.
kind of cool. But Rob, what was your first impressions when you first made it out to one of the Super Zoo
Well,
events?
I first went out there as the photographer. So for me, it was like Sandy said, it was just so overwhelming to just see football field sized booths and so many of them. You thought, well, okay, it's another but then you would see the differences
Yes, it's interesting,
and
isn't it?
so much food and so much. I really kind of felt like, wow, this industry is so much bigger than I really understood it to be. Because to that point, I'd only been to a superstore, maybe a PetSmart or a Petco, and you look and you go, wow, there's a lot of products. I mean, this is like 20 PetSmarts
Yes.
in a row.
You
It's
know,
just
I
amazing.
think the pet industry is bigger than, is it jewelry and candy and something else all thrown together, all those
Wow.
industries thrown together. It's really big. I mean, it's a huge, huge part of the economy.
I know
these
my
days.
experience with Super Zoo is the first time I had about 30 pounds of cameras that I had to carry around the floor. And by the first aisle, I was like, do we have to do this whole thing? There's a lot of aisles I have to
And
walk
it's
with these
bigger
cameras.
now. Can you
Yeah, and it's
imagine?
gotten bigger. So like now, I mean, I think some people who've seen me at Super Zoo see this big, huge vest thing I carry and carry all my cameras that way. But yeah, that's always one of those things that I did not expect it to be that big. And it is like shocking. And even when we come back to the studio and go over some of the booklets and pamphlets that are given to us in the weekly or the dailies that they release, I didn't even see some of them because
Yes.
it's so big. You can't
Yes.
get to every corner of it. You can't get to every single
Yeah.
thing going on. So it definitely is.
And the food part, I mean, I know what people spend 40% of their spending is in the food and treats department. So one understands why it's so big, but there are so many different foods out there. But of
Yeah.
course, I love the new message now. You know, it's all about what's made in America at long last. Bravo.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing too is we've made that happen. Pet parents have made
Yeah,
that
I agree.
happen because we said, no, we're going to read the labels. We want natural. We want healthy. We want organic. We want to understand what's on that label because if we don't, we have plenty of other choices now.
Exactly.
And-
And they're making it easier to read because remember when the labels used to be in really small print on the back, you needed a magnifying glass. Now, up front, on the front of the bag, it says what the protein is. It says everything that you need to know in a quick flash,
Yeah.
whether that food is something you will consider.
I have seen from when I started here as at Pet World Insider doing all the projects. I was a pet owner before. I'm now consider myself kind of a pet parent because of
Right.
all the information that's been given. And I've seen in just the past 4 years that I've been doing this huge change in the pet industry. And it's unbelievable. The stuff I do now for my dog is completely different than what I did for my previous dog. And so I mean, there's some great stuff that happens. Super Zoo is one of those places where I really get to see some of that stuff. And then the part that a lot of people don't get that I get is we do a lot of interviews there. We do a lot of one-on-ones with people. We get to meet a lot of big names in the industry, and the stuff that they tell us, I go home thinking, I'm doing it all wrong. I need to do it differently. I need to, and then I change or I adapt, and then it's just that much better I feel about owning my pet, and it's a great thing, and I think that's one of the fun parts about
And
it.
don't you? What always amazes me is that there's so many products on that show floor that have been born out of necessity from somebody having an issue at home. Like we spoke about the plush pet bed today.
Yeah.
I mean, pets are always throwing their bedding out.
Right.
So when you sew it in,
Yeah. And you're
no,
right. It is.
so-
It is. They take that.
little things.
Yeah.
right?
It is.
Yeah.
And it's that passion of my pet needs this.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden they go, well, other pets need this.
Of course.
You know, as they're
Yes.
sharing it around. And that's the beauty too of where we are with the information age.
Yeah.
Where, you know, one person does something, posts it up, and there's 10, 15, 1,000 people go, I want that for my pet.
Exactly.
How do I get that? And all of a sudden you have a product born.
Yeah.
And I say a product, not a company. Because I will say
Yes.
one of the things about all of these trade shows that does get me, I don't know, is one of my pet peeves at pet trade shows.
Pun intended.
Yeah,
there?
pun intended. Is I love seeing what's on the drawing board, but as someone who is out there talking about things in the general public quite a bit, I get excited to
Yes.
see where things are going.
And you want it now.
Yeah.
Want it now. Yeah.
And it
that's
turns
I
out to be
share.
a prototype that I'm still waiting 3 super zoos for
Later.
later going, when is it
Yeah.
actually going to be there? That's when I'll talk
I
about
must
it.
be honest with you. I tend to agree with you. I share that pet peeve. You know, I don't believe that the Kickstarter campaigns belong in a trade show where retailers are ostensibly coming to shop to put in their stores for the next couple of months. And it needs to be available. It's okay to say it's coming in 3 months, 6
Yeah,
months.
yeah,
Exactly.
That's
People
understandable.
get
Yeah.
that. But when they haven't even got it off the drawing board yet,
Yeah.
that doesn't really belong on that show.
Or they have it up and their prototype is working and functional, and you get excited about it because it's cool. I
Right.
mean, it's a prototype of
Works.
something new, and then it's like, oh wait, yeah, that'll be available next October. Well, gosh,
But
that's
then
frustrating.
you've
I want to
moved on.
talk
Yeah.
about it, but yeah.
Yeah, I last year I was the first year I did the new pet product plaza for them. We filmed a little from the pet world with producer Derek, and it went over well. And some of the stuff that I saw there were cool, and I was like, oh, I can't wait to see this, or I can't wait to get this in my hands to actually play with my dog. And I'm still waiting, and it's still one of those things where I can't. They're not in development yet. The funding didn't go through, so. Where's that cool product that I wanted? And
So if we're all on that same page, Super Zoo people, listen to us.
yeah, exactly. Well, and you know, I mean, and the WPA, World Pet Association, who puts on Super Zoo, they do a phenomenal job.
Oh,
So kudos to them. In fact, most of the trade shows we go to, I'm constantly impressed with how they're able to pull this all together, because you and I both know in particular, I mean, this is going to be close to 1,000 companies, but literally several thousand booth
Oh,
spaces.
absolutely. Yeah, it's a lot
And
of
there
work.
was a
Yeah.
long waiting list. So it's something that, I mean, the coordination, I kind of sit there and I just go, wow, kudos to them. They do a very good job. And the reality is they could blow it up even bigger. They just can't, you know, where's the facility to hold
I know,
all
it's
this?
getting crazy, isn't
Yeah.
it?
That's the
And
beauty of
the
it.
other thing is, we really, I hate to say this, Derek, because there's going to be more lugging of your cameras, but we really need another day because there just isn't enough time to get round that show floor.
Well, my
in
day,
3.
my starts off in I'm 5 days there because I've got pre stuff going on, and then the day we leave, and there's.
I was there for 2 weeks
Yeah, he was
last
there
for
time.
2 weeks.
2
last time
weeks with
before,
all the
yeah.
meetings.
And
Yeah,
so,
it
yeah.
was. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a busy
I
time
guess
because
one more day wouldn't hurt, but
well, you know what I think the thing too is that last day is so truncated because
Yes.
you know we've been on the opposite end where we're in the booth and we're like the last day you always just want to be done, so you're packing up as early as you can.
yeah.
And since it ends at 3, that means everybody starts packing at 11. Well, it just opened up at 9.
Exactly.
So
That's a
don't
bit of a
pack up
problem.
early if you want
Yeah,
us to
please,
come by.
guys. Yeah,
yeah.
get to the I'm always there till the last minute.
Yeah.
I
We're
am.
there till the end of the night, so I mean,
Yeah,
yeah.
We're here all week.
yeah. But it does go to your point though
Yeah.
of there's so much to look at,
Oh,
and
yeah.
and that's the exciting part. And I really think all of the trade shows, as I look at them, we've also seen an explosion of those. I mean, I get an invite to something every week somewhere across this country. And while I wish I could attend all of them, I can't.
Yeah, no,
So
you
there
gotta-
are those that you were
gotta
just
pick
going to
and
say.
choose.
Yeah, you got to
and choose.
pick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Super Zoo, I must say, is high on my calendar. Super Zoo and Global
Yep.
are my two shows. If I don't do any other,
Yep.
I don't think it matters as much
Yep.
because most of the people that may go to the smaller shows will be at
Right.
either
The
of
bigger
those.
ones, yeah, they'll definitely
Yeah.
be at
Yeah.
one of
Yeah,
the two for
exactly.
sure. And so definitely you get a huge amount of things to look at, and it can be very overwhelming very quickly.
Well,
so.
and I will say too, when it comes to industry inside business, because that's the key here. Global and Super Zoo are
these are not open to the
They're
public.
not open to the
these are
public.
industry. These are the experts. These are
Yeah.
people who are working in the pet industry. Go to these
Yes.
events. So it definitely is kind of the insider
Cider.
kind of thing.
True.
Yeah.
But we're doing it for the pet parents out there.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
the reason we do the
Yeah.
coverage for it is so people who can't go can
Yeah.
see what goes on there and kind of get a sneak peek before they see it on the floor
Exactly.
at their pet mark kind of
Exactly.
thing, or their Petco, and so or whatever local pet store they use.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
that's
Exactly.
definitely, I mean, one of the fun parts is we do get a little sneak peek before everyone else
Yeah.
does, but I mean,
we also
there's
get a
lot.
nice heat rush. If you're
Oh.
cold, come join us for Super Zoo where
Yeah.
it's 100,000 degrees.
But I'm like a mole because I burrow from my hotel underground into the convention center and I burrow back again for 3 days. Then I pop up to go home.
Oh. My shoes melted.
Literally
last
melted.
year,
Literally melted.
When we were loading up the car the last day. It was 120 degrees and my shoes melted. I had to change. I'm like, oh,
Oh my
man,
God.
this is pretty rough. But
I'm
the
here
thing,
forever. I'm
yeah.
stuck.
He's stuck. I'm like, sorry, man. We're just gonna have to keep moving
the
forward.
things we do for our pets, right?
Yes. Yeah, it's a lot of
So,
fun.
Super Zoo, great. It's a big thing. Everyone who can attend, who are going, hey, come say hi. Sandy's, you're at the
Yes,
Motorola booth.
I'm at the
We'll
Motorola
be
booth.
at our Pet World Insider section doing the filming, but come by, say hi. We love hearing from you guys
we
all
all
the time.
know where one another is. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
somebody's
If you're looking for one of us,
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
and
can send you anywhere.
and I will say this too, because this is one of the things that's most frustrating for Derek and myself and the crew. We want you to say hi. Everybody
Yes.
sees the cameras going, and they're afraid to.
Come
Well, I didn't want to
forward,
interrupt
yes.
you, but I saw you
But-
at Super Zoo, and I'm like, gosh, we were in the same place for
Yes,
such a
come
short period.
forward and say
Say
hi.
hi.
Sandy
you
doesn't
know?
bite. I don't bite. Rob
No.
doesn't bite. I mean, we want to talk to
Yeah.
you about what we
Exactly.
love, and that's pets. That's the reality. We love our
Yeah.
pets, and
And you know what?
there's
I've
some
just
cool
thought of
stuff.
something. If people are looking for us and they really can't find us on the show floor, there is the media room. Leave a
Yeah.
message in the media room. We
Yeah.
will show up.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
no, they
for sure.
they know how to get in touch with us real quick. So no, absolutely.
All right, so we talked about Super Zoo, I think, to death because we've got a lot to do for Super Zoo. But
It's a week plus of our lives.
yeah, exactly. So the next thing we kind of want to do on the show is what we're calling the dog bowl question, and this
Ooh.
comes in from people around the world tweeting at us. You want to use the hashtag We Love Pets. Send us a question if you have. These first questions we came up with ourselves. We found online, or what we just out of the top of our head. So
Commonly asked of us.
yeah. So
okay.
these are going to be a little bit more on the pet friendly side. So Sandy,
Okay.
pull
Do
a
I have to
question.
dig-
Sandy,
yeah.
pull a question.
Yeah, pull anyone there. Yeah.
Into the belly button. Oops.
No, you've
that's-
got
I
one.
think, yeah, that's
Question.
what-
It's a long question. Yes, please keep them to 140 characters or less in the future.
Yeah, this is a good one and a really difficult one. Stuck on a desert island, what breed of dog or cat would you want to have with you? I am a big fan of the mutt or the mixed breed. As long as I have a dog or a cat with me, I will be perfectly happy.
That's
What about you?
That's a very easy answer for you there.
It's true.
No, I definitely the mutts are definitely great breed of dogs. I definitely have had a great experience with mutts. I'm a sucker for like a staffy, maybe a pit
Okay.
bull, maybe a boxer.
Well, you can have a breed with you. Okay.
I definitely know I'm dog over cat, but I think it's in that kind of three there. I don't know if I can narrow down. I mean, if I had to,
I'd have to have one of each. I tell you why, the cat to sit on the lap to relax and chill out, and the dog for exercise to run up and down on that beach on the desert island, catch the coconuts, whatever.
yeah. Rob, what's your thought?
Oh gosh, I'm kind of lean like you. I need a dog. Definitely, I'd probably go. I really love the Shepherd Lab mix. You know, protect me at night because I'm not great with the creepy crawlies.
Yeah.
But I love that companionship of a lab as well. Zoe's a great example. Or give me a mutt. You know, Sugar is a mutt. And I could live on an island with Sugar and be blessed forever.
I think all of us could live on an island with just a dog. I think
Yeah.
it'd be
I
a much
agree.
easier
I agree.
situation for
Wait, I
us.
must tell you something.
Life would be so much easier.
I can see a cat on the island going, "What do you mean? What am I doing here?"
Yeah, exactly. No, I think it's a fun question, but
Yeah, it's a
it's
good
so
one.
hard. It's
It
so
is
hard
hard.
because
Yeah, it's
if I could have a breed that could build me a boat to get me back, that's the breed I'm probably going with, or one that can cook and
Well, you
find
probably
food.
want a swimmer then.
Yeah,
for
I want a
starters.
swimmer, exactly. I'll just hold on, you go. So
all right. So before we end this all, I know this is kind of we all get some media stuff that goes on. We read books, we see movies, we do all this kind of stuff in the pet world. Is there anything YouTube video, anything that's popped out recently for you that you kind of want to recommend people kind of check out, even if it's your own book?
Well, it's always my own books. What can I say?
I read them. Everybody should.
But actually, I've been having a lot of fun on YouTube lately with the deer kitten videos. Have you seen the deer kitten videos?
I don't think I've seen those ones
I
yet.
think they're made by Friskies, and it's this rather pompous older cat giving a kitten advice, and it's hysterical.
That is
So
awesome.
definitely we'll have to check those ones out. Rob, do you have something you've seen lately, read lately?
Oh gosh,
Read an article or
I'm
something?
fortunate to get a lot of magazines and books, and I read about half of everything I get in. Just half, not
Only
half.
half my
yeah.
books.
I read the first half. The other half I used to kill flies and giant wasps in case they ever come by. No, there's so many great things on the internet that I'm always looking for information. And I think the thing that excites me more, it's not exactly an answer to your question, but is I love the informational things, and I'm seeing a shift. So that's actually what's exciting me about YouTube is it's become kind of like my encyclopedia of how to do something, what's the information I need, and I'm getting better information every day. So it's a lot of fun. I love the cat videos, the dog videos,
Yes.
and I mean there's
You're out
just
for
there's
the
so much.
information.
Yeah.
I'm out for the laugh, and it's been proved. I mean, it's been in the news lately that if you watch, they mention cat videos, actually, by name, that they're good for your health because you relax and calm down.
I mean, if I had hours to spend on YouTube, I would spend hours watching cat dog videos. I would have to say the one recently, because once we got back from Blog Pals, it was fresh in my head, was Lana Greylack's Catastrophe
Oh, yeah, that was
YouTube
fun.
channel. She does a lot of great stuff. That's something we've been kind of watching through and kind of catching up with all her work.
Yeah.
But that would be my recommendation right now with videos. I know there's a lot of older dog. I know Barker Moore, or it's
Well, and it's funny you bring that up because that did spur one that we watched, Susie's Hope, which I mean we met Susie at Blog Pause, and the story was incredible. The dog is incredible. The people helping Susie are incredible, and then we got to sit down and watch the movie, and it was that tearjerker, yet, super excited. And then what was really fun for me was I got to share with my daughters that I got to actually play with Susie, and Susie took a liking to me and, tackled
Dogs
me.
do
And
like you.
yeah, well, dogs
You-
like me.
Well,
You know.
you like dogs. They
I-
know.
I
They
do.
know.
It's one of those
I
things.
do.
I mean, when a dog, like the dog's always gonna approach us first over other
Yes.
people because they know we love them.
They
Yeah.
That's the
know.
reality.
Yeah.
But
so.
but that video, and those are the kind of things I'm looking for. The story. I love
Okay.
Yeah.
stories, and that one definitely grabbed me. But I did like the Chat Noir cat or
Yeah,
whatever it
yeah.
was. It's just it's fun stuff.
yeah,
That's
it's-
the great thing about what's going
I
on
like
these
the dog
days.
shaming videos. You
Oh,
see the
yeah.
dog sitting there wrapped in toilet paper. Say, what did you do?
I do. I like seeing Dr. Andy Rourke in his Cone of Shame
Okay,
videos. But I mean, it's really good stuff out there, and that's what's exciting is, when I grew up back in the Middle Ages, we didn't have
TV,
any of
right?
that. Yeah, I mean, TV. What was TV? We clacked together two stones. So this is really it's really fun, and I think what's also fun for me is seeing my daughters really get into those
Yes.
videos, and they'll come home from school now. My oldest daughter's at that age where other people I saw on this, did you see that? And so I'm
They're
seeing
sharing.
where that world's going.
Yeah.
That's
It
really
really
cool.
is going to
Because
the
they're
YouTube
the
world.
next generation of pet owners.
Yeah. Oh,
Pet
yeah,
parents,
definitely.
So that's cool.
So this is coming to the end. I love talking. This is great. I mean, this is all we do. We talk pets. That's what we do. So, Sandy, where can people find more from you? Thank you for being on the show with us. And if you guys haven't seen Pet Product TV yet, go check it out. But Sandy, where can they find you?
Well, I am on Facebook at Sandy Robbins Pet Lifestyle Expert. On Twitter, of course, at Pet Sandy. And my website, sandyrobinsonline.com. That is a gateway into my email and, of course, into everything that I do.
And it's Robbins with
one B, Sandy with a Y. Thank you, Rob.
It's an important one there. So, guys, thank you very much for joining us on We Love Pets. If you guys want to be part of the conversation, use the hashtag We Love Pets. Tweet at me, at Producer Derek, or at the show, Pet World Insider. On Twitter, we're on Instagram, we're on all the social media, we're on Facebook. YouTube channel is / Pet World Insider. And Rob, thanks for being a part of this one too.
Thanks.
Yeah,
it was
guys,
fun.
Join us for the next one.